Welcome back to the Panorama Super and Pension course. In this module, we'll round out our examination of contributions on Panorama Super by showing you how to make an election for your client to split contributions with a spouse. Super contribution splitting allows a member of a regulated super fund to transfer concessional contributions made during the previous financial year to a spouse's super account. There are rules and requirements around contribution splitting and would refer you to the ATO website for a full understanding and details. We'll commence by providing a brief overview of some of the rules and requirements before showing you how contribution splitting is carried out on Panorama Super. Contribution splitting allows an individual to split with their spouse up to 85% of the lesser of their concessional contributions from the previous financial year or the concessional contribution cap for that financial year. Amounts that have been previously split cannot be split, meaning only one election to split can be made per year. Non-concessional contributions, rollovers, or overseas pension transfers cannot be split. And also, contribution splitting laws do not apply to accounts subject to payment splits or payment flags under a marriage breakdown. To be eligible to receive split contributions, the recipient must be an eligible spouse and must not have satisfied a retirement condition of release. Generally, the election to split a previous year's contributions must be made by the end of that subsequent financial year. An exception applies where a member intends to roll over their entire super balance before the end of financial year. In that case, they can also apply for contribution splitting for contributions made in that same financial year and just prior to the full rollover occurring. If you intend to claim a personal tax deduction for contributions, a valid notice of intent must be lodged and acknowledged in writing before making an election to split contributions. This ensures that the correct taxation status of the contributions is determined prior to the split. Again, please refer to the ATO website for more guidance about the contribution splitting rules and requirements. Applying for contribution splitting on BT Panorama is done by lodging a completed contribution splitting application. The editable PDF form can be downloaded from Panorama's help and support page, and the completed form is to be submitted to BT by email or mail. The form outlines important information summarised earlier and contains instructions on how to complete the form, including a helpful checklist. Some of the key points worth summarising are: there is the choice to elect a dollar amount or percentage of contributions to be split. Certified ID of the client must accompany the submission, if it has not been previously provided to BT Panorama. Note, in most cases it is unlikely BT Panorama has been provided with client ID previously. ID verification during account opening is conducted by advisors, and copies of ID documents are retained by advisors and not forwarded to BT Panorama. Proof of identity for the receiving spouse is not required. Both the member and the receiving spouse must sign the form. Funds can be deposited directly into a spouse Panorama super account, transferred by rollover to the spouse's account with another super fund, or deposited into the bank account of a non-Panorama SMSF. Transfers to other funds that cannot be made via SuperStream must be paid by cheque sent directly to the receiving fund. The application form must be received by BT Panorama on or before 30 June at the latest to be accepted by the trustee. The transfer should appear in the spouse's super account within approximately 30 days. Note that only one application can be submitted per financial year, except in a year where the account is being closed. In that case, another contribution splitting application needs to be completed to split contributions from the current financial year and submitted with the super account closure form. Please contact the BT Panorama SMSF Administration Service for contribution splitting on Panorama SMSF accounts. The help and support page contains guidance about contribution splitting on Panorama, where you can also locate the Panorama contribution splitting form to download for your clients. And remember, you can ask Panorama's virtual assistant Blue for help. That brings this module to an end, where we've learnt how to apply for contribution splitting for your Panorama Super clients. The next module is pension pre-commencement. Please join us to discover what pre-commencement is and learn about the important considerations during this period before you commence a pension for your client. We look forward to seeing you then.